Welcome to today's episode. If you've ever wondered why some people naturally attract attention while others struggle, you're not alone. Attraction isn't about luck, it's about understanding human psychology and using it ethically to create genuine, lasting connections. Most people think winning someone over requires chasing, pleasing, or proving their worth. But the truth? That's the fastest way to lose value in their eyes. Instead, attraction happens when people see you as valuable, intriguing, and worth investing in. In today's episode, we're going to break down the science of attraction, not through manipulative tricks, but by using proven psychological principles that will help you become more confident, magnetic, and naturally desirable. By the end of this episode, you'll know how to create emotional attraction instead of forcing interest, the biggest mistakes that push you into the friend zone, how to position yourself as someone people want to chase without playing games, and here's the best part: you won't need to pretend to be someone you're not or act like a bad boy to make it work. The secret lies in understanding human behavior and positioning yourself the right way. So sit back, take notes, and let's unlock the formula for genuine attraction. Let's get started. Today on the show, we're diving into the world of economic indicators. These are the numbers that tell us how the economy is doing. Things like GDP, unemployment rates, and consumer confidence. But what do these indicators really mean? How are they calculated? And how should we interpret them? We'll break it all down for you, with the help of some experts, to make sense of the numbers that shape our world. Now, before we dive into the strategies, let's talk about something crucial: what attraction really is. Most people think attraction is about looks, status, or even saying the perfect pickup line. But the truth? Attraction isn't logical, it's emotional. It's not about convincing someone to like you. It's about creating a feeling that makes them want to be around you. So instead of asking, "What do I need to do to make them like me?" I want you to flip the question: how can I make them emotionally engaged and invested in me? That's where psychology comes in. Today, we'll break down the core psychological principles that dictate attraction, starting with one of the most surprising effects in human behavior: the Benjamin Franklin effect. Let's get into it. Part 1. The psychology of attraction. Attraction isn't about luck, looks, or saying the perfect thing. It's about understanding how people think and feel, and using that knowledge to create genuine emotional connections. Most people believe that chasing, proving themselves, or constantly giving will make someone like them. But the truth is, attraction doesn't work that way. Attraction isn't logical, it's emotional. It's not about convincing someone to like you. It's about making them feel something compelling when they're around you. So today we're breaking down the core psychological principles that drive attraction, starting with one of the most surprising and powerful effects in human behavior: the Benjamin Franklin effect. Think about this. If you do a favor for someone, your brain naturally assumes you like them, because why else would you go out of your way for them? This is the foundation of the Benjamin Franklin effect. The story behind this effect comes from Benjamin Franklin himself. He once had a political rival who didn't like him. Instead of trying to win him over with favors or compliments, Franklin asked the rival for a small favor: to borrow a rare book. The man agreed. After Franklin returned the book with a polite thank you, something interesting happened. His rival started treating him like a friend. Why? Because when we invest in someone, our brain rewires itself to justify that action. I did something for this person, so I must like them. So, how does this apply to attraction? Most people think they need to do favors for someone to make them like them, but in reality it's the opposite. If you constantly give and give, the other person isn't investing in you. You're the one investing in them, which means you're the one who becomes more attached. How to use this in attraction? Instead of always trying to impress someone with generosity, get them to invest in you, even in small ways. This could be as simple as asking them to hold something for you for a moment, asking for their opinion on something small, like which outfit looks better, asking for a tiny favor that doesn't require much effort. These might seem insignificant, but the psychology behind it is powerful. When someone starts doing small favors for you, their brain begins associating you with positive effort, which leads to emotional connection over time. The investment equation. Why people value what they work for. Think about gambling. The more money someone loses at a casino, the harder it is for them to walk away. Why? Because they've already invested so much. The same concept applies to attraction. If you're the one constantly investing time, effort, and emotions into someone without receiving much in return, who do you think is going to become more attached? You, not them. Here's what most people get wrong. They believe that the more they give, the more someone will like them. They assume that being extra nice and accommodating will make them more desirable. But the reality is, people don't value what is given too easily. So instead of asking, how do I get them to like me? Start thinking, how can I create a situation where they are investing in me? This doesn't mean manipulating someone or playing games. It means understanding natural human behavior and allowing attraction to grow organically. How? To apply the investment equation: balance giving and receiving. Instead of overextending yourself, allow room for the other person to also put in effort. Attraction should feel like a mutual exchange, not a one-sided pursuit. Recognize when you're over-investing. If you're the one always texting first, making plans, or adjusting your schedule, take a step back. See if they match your energy. Be someone worth investing in. People naturally invest in those who seem valuable. Instead of chasing validation, focus on building a life you enjoy. Hobbies, social circles, self-improvement. When you have a strong foundation, people will want to be part of it. Key takeaways from Part 1. The Benjamin Franklin effect teaches us that people like those they invest in, not the other way around. The investment equation shows that people value what they put effort into. Instead of proving yourself, create an environment where attraction develops naturally. Now that you understand why people are drawn to what they invest in, let's move to the next key principle: scarcity. Why less is more. Because if you've ever wondered why someone loses interest when you become too available, this next part is going to explain exactly why that happens and how to fix it. Let's continue. Part 2. The Scarcity Principle. Why less is more. Now that we've covered how investment makes people value you more, let's talk about something even more powerful: the Scarcity Principle. Have you ever noticed that when you stop chasing someone, they suddenly seem more interested? Or that when you're too available, people take you for granted? That's not a coincidence. It's psychology. People desire what they believe is rare and valuable. Whether it's luxury brands, exclusive events, or limited edition products, scarcity makes things more attractive. And when it comes to attraction, the same principle applies. If your time and attention are always available, they lose value. So, how do you use scarcity in a way that creates attraction naturally, without playing games or being manipulative? Let's break it down. Why scarcity increases desire. Imagine you walk into a high-end store and see two watches. One is a rare limited edition model, only available to a select few. The other is a regular watch, easily found in any store. Which one feels more valuable? The rare one. It's not just because of the materials, it's because our brains equate rarity with value. Now, apply this to attraction. If you constantly message first, always say yes, and adjust your schedule for someone, what message are you sending that your time is unlimited, that your attention is easy to get, and when something is too easy to get, people stop valuing it? I once knew a guy who was always available to the girl he liked. He replied to texts instantly, always adjusted his plans for her, and never gave her space to miss him. At first, she seemed interested, but over time, she lost interest. Why? Because his attention became predictable. It wasn't exciting or rare. It was just there. Now compare that to another guy who had a busy life, social activities, and goals. He wasn't ignoring her, but he wasn't dropping everything for her either. She started reaching out to him first, not because he played hard to get, but because his time was naturally valuable. If your attention is always available, it loses its impact. Make people earn your time and they'll value it more. How to apply scarcity without playing games. A lot of people misunderstand scarcity and think it means you have to ignore people, be distant, or act uninterested. That's not true. Scarcity is about prioritizing yourself, valuing your time, and creating healthy space. Rule number 1, let them reveal their availability first. Don't say, "I'm free whenever you are." I do. Ask, "What's your schedule looking like this week?" When they give their availability first, you're not the one chasing. This reverses the dynamic. Instead of waiting for them to choose, you set the pace. A friend of mine used to ask, "Hey, are you free Friday?" and would always get uncertain responses. Instead, he started asking, "What's your schedule like this week?" Suddenly, they started working around his availability instead of the other way around. Instead of throwing your time at someone, let them invest in making plans with you. Rule number 2, end conversations first. Don't keep texting or talking until the other person loses interest first. To end conversations at a high point, while the energy is still good. Why? Because when you leave first, you control the emotional momentum. A guy I knew always texted for hours, keeping the conversation going until the girl stopped replying. Eventually, she lost interest. Instead, he started ending texts when things were still going well, saying, "Hey, gotta run, but let's talk later." Suddenly, she was the one reaching out more. When you end interactions first, you leave them wanting more. Rule number 3, be busy with your own life. Don't drop everything when they text or call. Do have your own plans, activities, and goals. People are drawn to those who are already fulfilled, not someone waiting for them to provide excitement. When you have hobbies, passions, and friendships, your time naturally becomes more valuable. A guy who was always waiting for his crush to text him never got the attention he wanted. But when he started focusing on his passions, fitness, and social life, she suddenly started noticing him more. Why? Because he became interesting. When your time is naturally limited, people appreciate it more. Key takeaways from Part 2. Scarcity makes your attention valuable. Let them reveal their availability first to reverse the chasing dynamic. End conversations first. Leave them wanting more. Have a fulfilling life so your time is naturally limited. Now you might be thinking, okay, I get that scarcity makes people value you more, but what actually makes them emotionally attached? That's exactly what we're covering next. Emotional connection, the real secret to lasting attraction. Because if you want to go beyond just being wanted temporarily and actually build deep, lasting attraction, you need to understand how to create emotional impact. Let's dive in. Part 3. Emotional connection, the real secret to lasting attraction. So far, we've covered how scarcity makes your attention valuable, and how investment makes people attached to you. But here's the truth. Scarcity and investment can spark interest, but they don't create lasting attraction. What actually makes someone think about you, miss you, and feel deeply connected? Emotional connection. Because at the end of the day, people don't stay with someone because they're hard to get. They stay because they feel something special when they're around you. So in this part, we're breaking down how emotional highs and lows create attraction, how to build deep connection through shared experiences, why vulnerability is the secret weapon for lasting impact. Let's dive in. 1. Emotional highs and lows. Why unpredictability creates attraction. People are drawn to emotions, not just logic. Ever wonder why movies, books, and TV shows keep us hooked? Because they take us on an emotional roller coaster, and that keeps us engaged. Attraction works the same way. If every interaction is predictable and smooth, it might feel comfortable, but it won't feel exciting. Real-life example. Imagine two guys texting a girl. Guy A always texts predictably, agrees with everything, and never challenges her. Guy B mixes in playful teasing, humor, and unpredictability. Sometimes he's engaged, other times he's busy. Who do you think she'll think about more? Guy B, because he triggers different emotions, making the experience memorable. Key takeaway: don't be one-dimensional. Playful teasing, humor, and emotional variety create chemistry that keeps interactions exciting. The shared experience effect. How to create instant connection. Humans bond over shared experiences. If you've been through something meaningful together, the connection is much stronger. Instead of just talking, create memorable experiences. Examples of shared experiences: doing something adventurous together, e.g., spontaneous plans, road trips, trying new activities. Inside jokes that make the connection unique. Overcoming a challenge together, e.g., teamwork, solving a problem, learning something together. People feel closer to those with whom they share meaningful moments. If you always just text or talk in predictable ways, the connection stays surface level. Example: I knew a guy who was great at conversation, but his interactions never turned into real connections. Why? Because he only talked. He never created experiences. Once, he started inviting people to do things instead of just texting. His connections became stronger. People started remembering him and wanting to spend more time with him. Key takeaway: focus on creating moments, not just conversations. Vulnerability, the shortcut to deep emotional bonds. Most people think being cool means hiding emotions, but the truth? People connect when they feel seen, heard, and understood. Example: there was a guy who always tried to act perfect around the girl he liked, never showing any flaws or struggles. She respected him, but never felt deeply connected. One day, he opened up about a personal challenge. Nothing overly dramatic, just something real. Suddenly, her energy changed. She leaned in, asked more questions, and seemed more emotionally engaged. Why? Because real connection happens through authenticity. When you share something real, it makes the other person feel comfortable doing the same. Key takeaway: don't be afraid to show personality, be playful, and even share challenges. How to apply this in real life? So, how do you take all of this and apply it naturally? Instead of just small talk, bring up shared experiences. Don't be afraid to tease and create emotional highs and lows. Open up about something real without forcing it. If you do this, you'll notice people will feel more drawn to you. Conversations will become deeper and more exciting. You'll stand out from everyone else who just talks about surface-level things. Key takeaways from Part 3. Emotional variety makes interactions exciting. Shared experiences create deep connections. Vulnerability builds trust and attraction. Now let's move on to Part 4. Positioning yourself as high value. Because attraction isn't just about how you interact with others, it's about how you present yourself as someone people naturally want to be around. Let's go. Part 4. Positioning yourself as high value, becoming someone people naturally. Chase, now that we've covered how to build emotional connection, it's time for the final and most important piece: how to position yourself as high value, so that people naturally gravitate toward you. Because here's the truth. The most attractive people aren't the ones chasing approval. They are the ones who already have value, and others recognize it. People don't want what's always available. They want what feels valuable and rare. So, how do you become that person? Let's break it down. The social marketplace. How perceived value shapes attraction. Think of dating and relationships like a social marketplace. Just like in business, certain products are in high demand while others are ignored. Why do people want exclusive limited edition products? Why do some individuals seem magnetic in social settings? Because value is perceived, not just declared. Example. There was a guy I knew who wasn't the best looking, richest, or most muscular guy in the room. But what made him stand out? He had an amazing social circle. He was always doing interesting things. People naturally wanted to be around him. He never had to chase attention. People gravitated toward him because he was already in demand. Key takeaway. If you create a life that others admire, attraction follows naturally. The scarcity of attention rule. Making people value your time. People don't value what is always available. If you always respond instantly, always make plans, and always accommodate, what message are you sending? That your time is unlimited. That your attention is easy to get. Better approach. Take your time to respond. If you're always instant, they know they can have your attention whenever. Prioritize your own life. Be someone with hobbies, passions, and goals. Have social proof. If others want to spend time with you, your value rises naturally. Example. A guy I coached went from texting a girl every morning to simply responding when he had time, without stressing about it. Within a week, she was initiating conversations more because his attention was no longer guaranteed. If people have to earn your time, they'll value it more. The already taken effect. How to radiate unconscious desirability. Why do women find married men more attractive? It's because they assume someone else has already pre-approved him. This is called pre-selection. People naturally desire what others already desire. How to apply this without lying. Cultivate a busy, fulfilling social life. Friends, activities, passions. Show that you have options, but not in a fake way. Radiate the energy of I'm already valuable, I don't need to prove it. Example. A guy went from struggling in dating to suddenly becoming in demand. Why? He started acting like he was already in high demand. Not by pretending, but by actually becoming someone interesting. When people sense that others already want you, they instinctively feel that you're more valuable. Final takeaways. The complete formula: attraction isn't about chasing people or trying to trick someone into liking you. It's about becoming someone worth investing in. Scarcity makes your attention valuable. Investment makes people feel connected to you. Emotional connection creates real attachment. Being high value makes people naturally gravitate toward you. If you apply these principles, you'll never need to force attraction again. If you found value in this episode, here's what to do next. Leave a comment. What's your biggest takeaway from today's episode? Subscribe for more insights on attraction, confidence, and social mastery. Share this episode with a friend who needs to hear this. Remember, attraction isn't about proving your worth, it's about knowing it. See you in the next episode.